I've never worked on a project where we are literally cramming something into every little space.
Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of Crawford's most exciting and meaningful projects, the University of St. Thomas Lee and Penny Anderson Arena. This brand new, multi-purpose venue brings together basketball, hockey, and 7 athletic programs under one roof. But more than that, it represents a powerful moment of transformation. As St. Thomas transitions from Division III to Division I athletics, the arena has become a symbol of ambition, collaboration, and school pride. Joining me today are Tanner and Lexi, two of Crawford's emerging designers who played hands-on roles throughout the project. Together, we'll talk about what it was like designing their first major arena, the creative challenges that came with balancing multiple sports, and the personal moments that made this experience unforgettable. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me, Tanner and Lexi.
Thank you, Jenny. Hello.
Thank you for having us.
I think this is your guys' first time participating in a conversation like this.
Yes,
am I right?
yes, first
Yep.
ever.
Yeah, it's a first for everyone. Same here. So let's start with a quick intro. Could each of you share your role on the project and how long you were involved? We'll start with you, Tanner.
Yeah, I was a project designer on the project, and I started two and a half years ago. Started in schematic design and then went all the way through construction administration,
Okay,
all
cool.
the way towards the end.
And Lexi?
Yes, so I'm Lexi. I've been working on UST maybe 2 years. I started in a little bit of schematic, mostly design development. Fell off a little bit through construction administration. That's where Tanner really dove in, but really focused in the design aspect of UST. So yeah.
Cool. And you guys, if I remember this right, started around the same time at Crawford?
Yes.
It was like what, within weeks of each other?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think like 2 or 3 weeks. I started after Tanner.
I started April 2023.
Yeah, and I started May 2023. So
Okay,
really
yes.
soon after. Yeah.
This is very exciting. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. So let's rewind a bit. Before the games, before the renderings, what were your first thoughts when you heard about this project? And we'll start with you, Lexi.
My first impression, honestly, I was a little nervous. You know, like you said, we're young designers, and there's a lot of pressure from our superiors and also the university. The first kind of comment about this project was that it's going from D3 to D1.
Yeah.
So that by itself was like a really big deal. And
Yeah, that's like several
yeah,
tiers, like
yeah.
3 all the way.
and I think it
to
was
one.
the first university to do that jump, if
Yes,
I'm not
yep.
mistaken.
First ever.
First ever, yeah, to go from D3 to D1. So that was like a big deal within itself. And also for me personally, the scale of the project was a first for me too. So lots of challenges in the future, but it was great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Tanner, first thoughts, impressions?
Yeah, I think there's really no multi-purpose arena out there like this. So that was something that I had to wrap my head around a lot.
Is that including collegiate and professional?
Yeah, like you said, there's seven sports that are housed under the roof, and so trying to dial all that square footage into one building was crazy.
That's
Yeah, that was the biggest
In the
insane.
design
challenge.
process, it was, and we also had to VE a lot of items out and make the building even smaller than what we had to work with at the start. So it was difficult fitting all that in, but it's crazy we're done now. We fit it all in.
Mhm, yeah.
So-
As of recording, last week, Lexi and Tanner went to the first hockey game at UST.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's crazy. Like, I know we're kind of going off script, but to be in that building and to watch this game and to see the fans and the athletes, how was that? Like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even work on this building. I didn't do anything but maybe do a social media post here and there. But I get
Yeah.
chills imagining it.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
It's really cool because we start off with just doing these conceptual renderings,
Yes,
and
yes.
to be able to walk into a space that you were rendering out
Mhm.
and seeing people using it, that was an aha moment for me, seeing everyone use the space that we all designed.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I don't know about you, but like my cheeks hurt by the end of the weekends. Like it was just constant smiles and laughter and like excitement by everyone. And also, we participated in a little university tailgate they had out front before the home opener for the men's hockey game, and it was just so fun, like chatting with the parents of the players and just how excited everyone was. It was like so rewarding. Yeah. It It was great.
That's amazing. To our audio listeners, you can't really see it, but like the smiles and the beams that I'm seeing on these two young
Yeah.
designers, it's amazing. So, what's one innovative feature in the arena that most people might not notice, but makes a big difference?
Yeah, I think the most powerful innovation is the dual rise and retractable seating components. So basically, the dual rise is a component of the seating that just goes up and down. That's it. And then you have a retractable seating system that can be taken out completely out of the arena for this gives more seats for basketball. And then whenever we transition to hockey, you take out these seats. So there's less seating for hockey and there's more for basketball. The reason we did this is because the sight line for basketball and hockey is completely different. So having the adaptability between dual rise and retractable systems, it really helps a lot. And I don't think people really notice that. It
Definitely
takes
not.
like 8 to 10 hours, I think, to actually convert it from hockey to basketball, which is crazy. And they do it overnight, which is wild.
No, honestly, hearing you talk about that, acknowledging the difference in sight lines between the two sports, I didn't even consider.
There's a lot that goes into it. It's like the typical patron that uses the building would not think about, but there's a lot behind the scenes that goes on.
This arena hosts both basketball and hockey. Earlier you mentioned, the differences in like sight lines and the retractable like seats and all that. But was there like how did you design a space that feels perfect for two completely different sports aside from those seats?
Honestly, I think it kind of comes down to not necessarily thinking about the sport specifically and how they're different, but I think UST did a really good job of kind of creating like a community feel between all sports, especially all sports like being under one roof. They all, bleed purple and have the same like love and excitement for their university. So I think it came down to like materiality, color, the lighting effect, all of the AV, the audio visual that happened, kind of thinking about all the sports as like one.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting way of looking at it. It's like, you have the middle child, everyone forgets about the middle child. We don't want to forget about basketball or prioritize hockey or anything. Like every one of these sports received the love and care that it
Exactly. Yeah.
deserved from the designers, the university, like all of that.
And that was a huge theme coming from, the owner's rep was, what's the word?
Characters, yeah,
Yeah,
equality.
equality and making sure all the locker rooms, look the same, whether it's women's team or men's team, softball, soccer, basketball, like no matter what sport it was, everyone was receiving like the same
Same treatment for every single
treatment.
space.
Yeah.
Imagine being an athlete from one sport or being an athlete from this certain gender and then like walking
Mhm.
into the space like, oh,
It
this
happens.
is it. And then they go to the other and we're like, whoa, where was
Yeah. Like,
this?
why
How
didn't
could
I
we
get that? Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. The complex serves 7 athletic programs. How do you design a building that meets like so many needs at once?
Girl, it was hard. I've never worked on a project. Sorry, I'm yapping and talking.
Keep going.
No,
Keep
this
going.
is
Like
go with it. Go with it.
I've never worked on a project where we are literally cramming something into every little space. Like every little nook and cranny we found, they were like, "Oh, just throw a janitor's closet in there," or finding a space for everything. It was just a big, big puzzle. And then also like the shared spaces was really important, like the rehab, sports med, the hydrotherapy, just making sure all the sports had a place to live.
Yeah.
There was a lot of programming
Yeah.
at the start of in the schematic design phase. Oh, can this fit here? Can this fit here? And then we started VEing items out, meaning they had to shrink the building. And so that made it even more challenging.
I remember we were in CA and Tanner was trying to find a place to fit these restrooms to like it was like
Yeah,
last
we
minute.
were constantly designing, even through construction documents.
Yeah.
It wasn't like design stopped. It was just
Which
even,
also, yeah, we should preface it was a design build, which was my first.
yeah.
So we were designing, it's really fast paced. We were designing, construction started, and we were still designing.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was a lot of pressure at one point, but
Yeah, that's it's like a time crunch,
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Dang. You've mentioned working closely with St. Thomas and Ryan companies. I'd love to hear how that partnership shaped the final design. And we'll start with you, Tanner.
I think during the design phase, we had a weekly meeting, and most of the time it would run for 4 hours. And we had to prepare presentation every week and show them slides and renderings and floor plans, conceptual designs. And I think that helped a lot collaborating with the university and with Ryan as well.
Yeah, making sure everyone was on the same
Yeah.
page and yeah.
And I'll tell a little story. Once we finally had a model pretty well established, I was in charge of running a virtual reality walkthrough. So we had the assistant AD, Corey, and Ryan, and everyone affiliated on the project. We had to kind of go through the model in virtual reality, and I was in charge of running that. And it was a very stressful task, but rewarding because we got a lot of feedback from the university as they were actually seeing the space. Like renderings do a lot, you can see, but if you're actually walking through it virtually and seeing it, it helps them visualize it even more. So
Was that done with goggles or the VR goggles, or was that done like on a computer, like a video game you're like walking
we
through?
tried we tried with the goggles at
Yeah.
first. Technological problems. It ended up just being over the computer.
But that's great that you guys were able to do that regardless. Exactly what you said, you see the images and the renderings, that already is like huge, but to actually walk in it, and then I'm getting ahead of myself, to walk in it virtually and then to walk in it literally, like crazy.
And I think what you said too, like feedback was most important in those discussions and collaboration, just to make sure that, the overall end goal was met for all parties of just creating this one of a kind arena, but also making sure like each individual design intent by all designers were met too.
Mhm.
So
What was the energy like working with the university? And you guys mentioned this before. It's never been done before. This is the first time. What was it like working with the university, moving from Division 3 to Division 1? How did that excitement influence your work?
I would say that reminds me of one of UST's mottos, which was proud past, bright future. And that was constantly brought up in conversations. And I think that was just a really good theme to the overall project. There was just constant feeling of passion and excitement, whether it's from the staff or the students, the coaches, us as the designers, the design team. So it's just really exciting overall. I know I keep using that word exciting,
No,
but
it
it's
is.
just on
Yeah.
par. But it also came with a little bit of pressure just from being like younger designers. We had to design boldly, but it still like influenced us to create something really great for the community.
Feel like that makes sense because usually it's a shared experience that the moment we graduate from school, we are ready to dig in. All right, they keep talking about the real world. The real world is here now. Like, give it to me. Like, let's do something. And then you are met with this Goliath of a
Yeah.
project. I feel like this project kind of landed on your desk the time
Hmm.
when it needed to be.
Yeah.
I think going from D3 to D1, this building is going to propel St. Thomas athletics, not only hockey and basketball, but it'll set the stage for if they say the basketball team were to make the NCAA tournament. They're going to have a wide audience playing in that tournament, and there's going to be a
Mhm.
lot of people watching them. So this facility is going to help them get to that next level,
Yeah. And I think
not just for
also,
basketball and hockey, but
yeah.
yeah.
And I think also set the stage for other universities. Like they're gonna see like, oh shoot, like they're good. This is cool. How can we be better? But
We want our athletes and our
right,
students to feel this.
right,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
The university president called the arena a new community and economic asset. How did that larger goal shape your design approach?
I think we wanted it to be more of a campus facility rather than just for hockey and basketball. It's supposed to be a true gathering space for the Twin Cities. That's why we focused on transparency and public spaces. It's right in the middle of campus. It kind of blends in with all the architecture around. And like I said, it's not just for hockey and basketball. There will be concerts that could happen. So we designed seating designs that accommodated a center stage for a concert, also an end stage for graduation. So when you have the capability of covering the ice floor, there's a lot that you could do. There's a lot of space in the main arena.
It's definitely revenue building in a lot of spaces that we put in there, like the Capital Club. There's 3 different clubs, 6 different suites.
6 suites. Yep.
6, yeah. So definitely revenue building for the university as well.
Okay, moving on to the next set of questions. What was your favorite aha moment from working on the Anderson Arena project?
I think for me, one, it was going to the first game. kind of touched on that already. But another one was the topping off ceremony, adding in the last structural beam. From there on, it was just finalizing. We had all the bones to it, and it was just finalizing, making it look pretty from there. Yeah, that would be my biggest aha.
And for me, I would also say the first game because, like we talked about earlier, it's like this is reality. This is so fun. But also, so Tanner was more in play during the CA phase, so the construction administration, and I stepped back a little bit, and so I did not participate in as many site visits. And so I actually went to two site visits. The first one was when it was just a big hole in the ground. That was literally it. And then the very last site visit I went on, it was practically done. It was like a few weeks before the first game. So I was like, shoot, like this went up fast and this is real. So that was my
I
probably
cannot even
biggest.
imagine seeing a literal hole in the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Dirt. Nothing.
Nothing.
And
Yeah.
then, oh, out of nowhere, there's this building here?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's forget about the blueprints for a second. What does this building feel like to you now that it's complete and filled with fans?
I think it feels alive pretty much. Going to the first game, seeing specifically the students in the student section after they scored the first goal, and all
Yeah.
the students went crazy. There were all the players were banging against
It was loud.
the glass. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it
Oh
was
loud.
my
really loud.
gosh,
It
Yeah.
was
the
just kinda like,
energy.
yeah, the energy, it was like the building was breathing, and for me personally, it's almost like you kind of forget about the building and just pay attention to, like, how the people are acting in the building, really just becoming alive for sure.
Ah, that's amazing. Yeah, what you just said, we're forgetting about the building and we're paying attention to what the people and what they're doing and how they're reacting within the building. It's, the building's a building. It's materials, it's concrete, it's this and that, the third, but it's the people, it's the end user that's giving it life.
100%,
Yep,
yeah.
definitely.
Yep. Can you tell we're UST fans now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it's about. This is
Absolutely. Every project I work on, I'm like, "Oh, I'm a fan now. Yeah, give me some gear."
What do you hope every student feels the first time they walk into the arena for a game or a graduation ceremony?
I hope they just feel pride that they're now a D1 school. Not that there was anything wrong with D3, but going from D3 to D1 is amazing. And I hope this building helps them realize that, gives them a sense of pride, and it sets the stage for the future for them.
Yeah. I hope they just feel hype and, like, ownership, like, "Yeah, this is ours. This is cool. Like, we're gonna make it happen."
Yeah, totally. And I think you guys nailed it. I think the hype totally came across. Moving on to the next question, every designer has a part of a project that they're most proud of. What's your favorite space or detail inside the arena?
I personally love the locker rooms. Like we mentioned earlier, all locker rooms are fairly equal in design. The ceiling specifically was a lot of work, but it super impactful, I think, within the space.
And when you say the ceiling was a lot of work, are you referring to like the lights and the graphics that are on there, or what are you referring to?
Yeah, so kind of I think a big, important, like significant design aspect of every sports facility is always the locker room, right? And every locker room is filled with lockers, which we get to design as well. But a lot of the architectural design work is kind of the only place that happens is the ceiling. A little bit on the floor, but the ceiling is always where we can kind of flourish a little bit. And I think it just turned out really, really, really well.
Yep.
But there's a lot of soffits, a lot of different lighting aspects. Yeah,
I was looking at the renderings we did, and then I would take a picture from where we did the rendering
the
in the
same angle.
actual room.
Yeah, the same angle, same position.
Compare them, and they're like
Pretty similar.
almost. I think also my favorite part is just the bowl design. It's really intimate and it adapts to both hockey and basketball. And then also the club spaces, specifically the Legacy Club, which is what Crawford designed. There's a couple spaces that Ryan took over, but the Legacy Club is kind of in between the suites. It's kind of it's a unique bar area for people to hang out during the game, and it's right center in the middle of the club.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing I enjoy a lot. They also we took a lot of inspiration from the campus around, so they use a lot of cassette stone on the buildings. So we obviously used it on the outside of the building a lot, but we brought some of that on the interior of the building as well. So there's some Cassetta stone inside the locker rooms, and there's some in the Legacy Club. So it's kind of all over.
Yeah, paying attention to those kinds of materials, it makes it seem like that arena has been there. That it isn't like random, sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
It's like integrated and woven within the
Definitely.
campus.
Just sprinkling little special moments here and there throughout the building, I think was impactful.
What is something you will remember about working on this project?
I think it's collaboration with everyone at Crawford, as well as collaborating with people at Ryan and with everyone at St. Thomas. And then for me personally, I think doing CA was a big thing that I had to step up and learn. In past projects, I've kind of worked on the construction documents and then kind of handed off someone else to do the CA portion. So this was kind of a big step for me, learning the CA and going to Minneapolis pretty much every week for
Yeah.
Yeah, the travel.
4 or 5
No wonder
months.
why you guys are now like UST fans.
He's a gold medallion member. Yeah, kind of the same for me. Mostly like the people, like this team that we worked on UST together, like they're like my best friends now, which is so special and important.
I oftentimes forget just how impactful the work that you guys do
Yeah.
is. And I hope you guys truly, sincerely are aware of that. And you guys are amazing. You guys are creators. Not
you.
everyone
Very
can
nice.
say this,
Thank
you know?
Yeah, it is really rewarding. Like I get chills. It's really exciting.
Yep.
I know that you guys have like rough days, you know, not every job is like dream fantasy every single minute of the job, right?
Yeah.
And but regardless, even through the difficult times and the stress and the time crunch and all of these things, you guys, you know, stuck through it, you locked in, you persevered, and look where we are now.
Lots of late pizza nights for sure. And yeah, we do feel grateful to be creative, to have the ability to be creative and also like share the passion with a fun group of people is really helpful too to get the job done.
And that's like another thing is like you guys aren't the only ones that are hyped about it, that are
Yeah.
passionate about it. There are other Lexi and Tanners in their own way that are just like super involved and care about every detail. And
Definitely, yeah. And I do want to mention like the team was way bigger than us. So lots of hands touched this
yeah,
project.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Barry, because Barry
Yeah,
was a
Barry.
true leader, mastermind on the Crawford side,
Learned so much. Yeah.
and he helped guide me through CA, learn CA process. So I couldn't have done it without Barry.
Just a couple more questions. If you could sum up what this project taught you in one word, what would it be? And we'll start with you, Lexi.
Okay. Give me a minute.
That's okay. I know it's a loaded
word.
question. It's just one word.
I know. I was like, I can yap forever, but one word?
Tanner, I see you're very pensive about it.
Initiative.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Initiative. Can I share that word with you? Just being bold. Okay, I'm gonna use the word being bold. This project taught me to be
Rich.
bold. Whatever. Close enough. Just to take pride in your work and be confident and don't be afraid to step up and give ideas and yeah, just take initiative because most of the time people are gonna love it and they're like, yeah.
I truly appreciated this conversation. I mean, I learned so much about this project. It's massive, and I think it was something very special just witnessing the two of you talk about it. The passion is contagious. The two of you should be very proud, and once again, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
This was fun. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jenny.
Thank you very much.
That wraps up our conversation with Tanner and Lexi, two designers whose passion and creativity truly help bring the Anderson Arena to life. The University of St. Thomas Lee and Penny Anderson Arena isn't just a building. It's a living space for students, athletes, and fans, a place that celebrates the future of St. Thomas athletics while honoring its proud past. A huge thank you to Tanner and Lexi for sharing their stories, and to the entire team who poured their heart into this project. If you'd like to see more stories like this, subscribe to Crawford Architects on YouTube and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram for behind-the-scenes clips and future conversations.